Hi. Okay, I think we got this. Welcome. Welcome back to Education Talks. And this has been an ongoing theme because we want to help the student as much as possible. And I felt this is one podcast right here on Life Modern Reality that would help students all through this episode to be better, improve, and we're trusting and hoping that by the time you go through all the episodes, it is something that would make you live it. It is something that would lift up your spirit. It is something that would help you, and we start hearing all these testimonies, and that's what we're trusting and hoping for. And today's episode, we're talking about the student struggle is real. The student struggle is real. And where we talk not just about what happens in school, but also what happens to students in real life. I'm Mr. Ajiro, and today's episode is for every student who's been felt unseen, overwhelmed, or simply exhausted. And that's why we call it the student struggle is real. This episode, that's why I gave it this title. Because it is. Behind the test scores, the school uniforms, the polite smiles, there's a lot going on that adults often don't see or don't even know how to respond to. So let's get into the truth of it. Let's be honest. School today feels like survival for many students. Yeah, I'm saying it. From year 7 to 6th form, the pressure is everywhere. Even when you get to university, the pressure is everywhere. There's a pressure to get it right, pressure to meet expectations, pressure to never fail. And it doesn't stop at academics. You're balancing school with friendship, family expectations, internal doubts, identity questions, and maybe even anxiety or depression. Many students don't even feel safe to say, I'm not okay. Because in some school culture, struggle is mistaken for weakness. I mean, students say, okay, you're weak, you're not serious. And then you do all that. And everything, I'm okay. So they can just shove it off. Here are some real student schools of reflection, right? Some may say, I'm scared. Some might say, I'm scared to say I don't understand because I don't want to be labeled slow. Some might also say, every day feels like a performance. I wish someone asked me how I'm really doing. Here's some of the things some students want to say. It's like everyone cares about my grades, but no one asks about my mind. Everyone cares about my grades, but no one asks about my mind. That's a big reflection, right? As a teacher, I've seen students who smile during lessons and cry in silence. during break. They smile during a lesson, but quiet silent during break. I've taught students who are intelligent, talented, but burned out. And sometimes we don't know because no one tells us. Let me speak on behalf of students for a moment. And adults, please listen. If you're listening to this education talk, you're listening to this episode. We are not lazy. We're tired. I'm speaking on behalf of students. We are not lazy, we're tired. We're not distracted. We're dealing with too much at once. We're not rebellious, we're trying to find our own voice. Sometimes the pressure to be perfect comes from home, from school, and even from ourselves. And when there's no safe space to talk, students end up wearing emotional marks. What students need is not perfection, but presence, not judgment, but gentleness. What students need is not perfection, but presence. It's not judgment, but gentleness. So, what are the key takeaways from this episode here? With what I've said, I would say give students room to make mistakes without fear of being labeled. There's this saying that I always tell my students: feeling is not a problem as long as you don't get stuck in feeling. Yeah. And fail fast and fail forward. What do I mean? Make the mistakes, learn from the mistake, and move on. Be a moving train. You're always progressing. Because the greatest kind of failure is the one you get stuck. Yeah. As long as you're progressing, it's consistency, not perfection. So give students room to make mistakes without fear of being labeled. Another takeaway from parents to take from this, and also students, is celebrate progress. After time, we don't celebrate progress. We always celebrate outstanding performance. We don't celebrate the progress that the child has made. The child was in 30, made 60. That's huge. Celebrate it. Celebrate it. And you don't just celebrate students who are at the pinnacle of their prime, but also celebrate students who are making progress. Most improved, the best, most improved. Students who are always constantly making progress. Don't assume silence means understanding or that good grade means good mental health. Don't assume that the child is quiet. I mean, okay, they get it. And this is what we do in Agile Tech Private Tutoring Service, because we listen, and it's one on one. It's a safe space, a safe haven, where we want to ensure that the learners, they don't just say, okay, I understand, but we put a lot of assessment criteria in place to ensure that at the end of the journey, the student does not remain the same. It's a whole lot of progress, a lot of work we put in. Because it's okay to say, I get it. But it's never okay we did not get it. So you have to be sure as a teacher that they don't just say, oh, I get it. And this is why in Agile Tech Private Tutoring, we're more about small circle. Yeah, we do free tutorials, everybody coming in to test the classes and everything, but we're careful. That's what we do. One-on-one. The max is always a group of 3. We do not do group. We do not extend it. It's one-on-one, group of 2, group of 3, because we're careful. The smaller the circle, the safer the space, and we want to ensure that our learners are learning. They're not just yawning, but they're learning. And that's what we have world-class teachers across every subject. So don't assume silence means understanding or that good grade mean good mental health. So what can we do? How can we change the narrative? Yeah. What can we do as educators, as parents, or even students themselves? First, let's humanize education. Let's humanize it. The classroom isn't just for curriculum. It's for connection. I'm going to say it again, right? Yep. The classroom isn't just for curriculum. It's for connection. That's why parents bring their child to school. It's not just for the curriculum, but for the connection. I want my child to connect with people. I want them to learn outside the screen time. I want them to actually connect with humans. I want their brain to understand that life is all about connection. Life is all about relationship, building. It's not just go read a book and no. It's more than that. Teachers, check in before you check work. Teachers, please, I beg you, check in before you check work. Even in the private tutoring, we use like 2-3 minutes to say, how you doing? Yeah, we're gonna add those minutes back, so don't worry. How you doing? Hope you're good today. Really? You sure? Oh, okay. I just want to tell you that you're making progress, you're doing well, and I'm proud of you. You start that with a fantastic note that makes the student know that they matter. It's not just about a paycheck or something, but they actually matter. So check in before you check work. How you doing? How was your holiday? It was good. Alright. And we're careful, because in the one-on-one space, they're like, it wasn't good, it wasn't. And then you quickly give that sort of encouragement. And our tutors are very great in that. And then we move on, and the class becomes super, super interactive. So ask the student how they're doing, not just how their homework is. Parents, listen without interrupting. A lot of parents, when the child is talking, they want to, just quickly chip in. No, just let them finish. Give them the time to explain themselves. Respond without comparing. Don't compare. Every child is unique in their own way. In Agile Tech Private Tutoring, they are their best superheroes. They are the best version. We try to improve that version. We don't try to compare with another version. No, they are the best superheroes of themselves. What we can do is to improve on it, and that's why the Geotech private tutoring is a key. I mean, a must that you have to enroll, because you're not just learning the curriculum, but you're also learning as a student how you can be better, and the tips we provide and how we can help you. Don't make your child struggle about your own reputation. Students, speak up when you can. Please. I know most of you shy, you're this, but please speak up when you can. Your feelings are not a burden, they are a signal. Your feelings are not a burden, they're a signal. Okay, so here's a quote for you to reflect on, for those listening on this podcast. You can't pour from an empty cup. And student, you deserve to be full of support, of belief, of balance. You can't pour from an empty cup. And students, you deserve to be full of support, of belief, of balance. So to every student listening in this podcast, your struggle is real. Your experience matters. And your best effort, whether it's an A or a C, is enough. Please remember this. You're more than your grades. You're a growing human being. And that means you are allowed to feel tired. You are allowed to ask for help. To the adult listening, let's create room for the real. Because when we meet students where they are, we help them become who they are meant to be. So here's a question for you to ponder on after this podcast. Right? Or something you can, for those who are listening it in small groups, and almost we have small groups, students have small group and we play the podcast, or within your circle. Here's a question also for your journals as well. If someone asks you how school really feels right now, what would you say? If someone asked you how school really feels right now, what would you say? And hey, you can send your responses to the podcast, right? And right there in the comment section, you just type in your response there, and we will do our best to read all of them. Okay? And I'm so hoping to hear from you. Okay, so thanks for tuning in to Education Talk right here on Life Mood and Reality. And stay present. Stay present. One more time, stay present. Stay present. Stay human. And remember, real learning starts with real understanding. Real learning starts with real understanding. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.